everyone. Good morning and welcome to the Disney Morning Show from Laughing Place. I'm Kyle, the editorial director, and joining me today is still not Doobie, over there wearing a shirt provided to him by Roosevelt's. It's Luke. Hi, Luke.
Hi, Kyle. You pointed the wrong way, but it
I
still worked
pointed the
out.
correct way because I'm looking at what it looks like on the broadcast.
But hi, how are you doing on this fine? I would say morning, but the morning show for me on the East Coast never ends
All
up
right,
being
here,
the
here.
morning.
Where's the button? Starting it off strong.
Now, just a minute.
Is that a record? Like 20 seconds into the show, getting one of those in?
Maybe. I mean, I could also do.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
now that those bumpers are out of the way, we're going to go ahead and start the show for real, the same way we started every show. Oh, Luke, I'm also going to put you in charge of comments. I didn't tell you that beforehand.
Oh well, folks,
But
if
anyway.
you're watching, please comment, and we'll be happy to comment back to you.
We're going to start the show the way we do every show. So when we did this yesterday, it was $108.44, which was coincidental because when we checked this on Friday, I think it was Friday, it was also that amount. But today, it is up ever so slightly, $108.56, 44 cents on the day. So I guess it opened, whoa, actually, it was much higher at one point and then has fallen off, but is still up for the day. So we are once again not going to do the weather today, but I did want to give another update on the wildfires as they start getting slightly contained. Disney has been, especially specifically Bob Iger, has been very involved in trying to help out because unfortunately many Disney employees and cast members and executives even have been impacted by the fires. So at least 64 Disney employees have lost their homes, according to reports. And yeah, he's trying to work with agencies. And as I mentioned yesterday, Disney is giving $15 million to help with efforts. And yeah, so the company is actively involved, and hopefully things will get better from here. I think the winds are supposed to be calming down. So anyway, with that, we're going to move on to happier topics and get started. Luke, guess what?
Breaking news.
We have breaking of a brand new poster.
Ooh, and it's a really cool one.
It is a pretty cool one. I'm going to shrink my screen a little bit more. Oh, nope, that doesn't really do much.
It gets rid of the black edge, so
yeah. The Devil's work is never done. Yes, Daredevil Born Again. We actually got a new trailer, which we'll take a look at. I haven't watched it. Is it okay to show in the background without sound?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, there is a lot of definitely a lot of violence, but I wouldn't say it's like bloody violence or anything like that. But it is. I don't think it's a watered down version of the show that we had on Netflix. It's going to be a pretty tonally similar continuation from the looks of it.
Yeah. And this will be airing. We also got a time. So March 4th, it'll be at 6 p.m. as they've been doing. I don't remember. I think that's probably the same release date that was announced, but later. So kind of like the Agatha schedule versus Skeleton Crew, where it was the day before at 6 before it announced. Yeah. So exciting. I had never watched the Netflix show because I think it'd be a bit much for me, but I have enjoyed seeing these two characters in the MCU projects since. So
yeah, I don't think I ever finished it. I watched the first 2 seasons for sure, but I can't remember if I watched the third or not. But I do remember very much enjoying it.
The next story is for you, Luke, and it's one that kind of spoils this day in Disney history, but it is notable. So why don't you go ahead and tell us about this?
Yeah. I think this is something that definitely deserves its own its own little segment here. But yeah, Space Mountain at Walt Disney World, which is the original Space Mountain, has turned 50 years old as of today, January 15th. The attraction opened on January 15th, 1975. And Disney celebrated it this morning, or at least I assume it was this morning. They didn't specifically say, but the two Disney World ambassadors were there along with Mickey, Minnie, Donald, Goofy, and Pluto to kind of have a little celebratory moment. And they set off some gold fireworks off the building. And then they also shared a video which which has some memories from some famous fans. So you get to hear from Sophia Carson in there. Of course, it's not a parks thing unless you hear from Disney legend Josh Gad and GMA meteorologist Ginger Z in her closet.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw Josh Gad earlier. Let me see. Maybe it's a little bit back. No? Oh, there's Ginger Z in her closet. That's more important than
definitely in her closet.
Yeah. Of course, she's famous, so she has a big closet. I was not like I'm picturing the thing like I have over here, but that would be a little tighter.
And then they also shared some fun images on the Parks blog that I wanted to highlight as well.
Yeah.
Of the construction of Space Mountain, which is just absolutely crazy to see, considering it was just so long ago. But it's such a big structure, and the way they built it is really, really quite impressive. And you know what, Kyle? I'm excited because I'm going to go to Magic Kingdom later today. And I'm going to ride Space Mountain.
Aw. That's fun. And we get to see this process of building a Space Mountain all over again as they're rebuilding it in Tokyo.
Yeah. And just wanted to mention, but we've got a lot of people saying good morning to us.
Oh, nice. Thank you.
Jeannie,
good morning
Jeannie
to all of you. Genie Plus Plus. Thank you for being here. Rebecca.
Fred. Paul. So many people saying hello.
Schnaps.
Hello to...
I know you don't know that, but that is Schnaps.
Okay. I did not know that. But hello, everyone. Welcome.
We got some news. So last year on, I think it was, let me see, it happened in May of 2024. They held a special performance at the Hollywood Bowl celebrating the 30th anniversary of The Lion King. And they said that it was going to be coming to Disney Plus. And then we never heard anything about it. I completely forgot about it. And then rather than announcing it with a press release or even a tweet, we just noticed that Disney Plus had a banner and it had a release date. So February 7th, this special will premiere on Disney Plus. You got stars like Ernie Sabaya, Jason Weaver, Jeremy Irons is there, Nathan Lane, and special guests like Bradley Gibson and even Northwest and Jennifer Hudson are all going to be part of this. So yeah, I don't know what took so long. I don't know why they're randomly dropping it in February, but you can check out this Hollywood Bowl special performance next month.
I can't wait for it to be in the Disney Plus top 10 for like 10 weeks.
Yeah, I wonder when Mufasa is. I think February, that sounds a little, in fact, not a little, it sounds a lot too soon for Mufasa to debut on Disney Plus, but
I think we're going to probably end up getting Moana before that. And we haven't got a date on that yet.
Yeah. But Luke, we got some more news from the Disney parks.
Yeah, so this is something that has been coming to a lot of apps. I've noticed even outside of the Disney World, but you now, if you make a mobile order through the Disneyland app or the My Disney Experience app, which really should just be called the Walt Disney World app at this point.
They should give up on that.
You'll get a little, when you turn your phone on, you'll get a little pop-up notification giving you the status of your mobile order. So once you've placed the mobile order, you will be able to hit I'm here from just your home screen on your iPhone or whatever phone you have. Oh no, it looks like it is only for iPhone users at the moment, but it might be rolled out to those with Androids.
Yeah, I know this is an Apple feature. I've used it for mobile order for Starbucks. I think Uber Eats, even like fantasy football sometimes populates that little widget. I like that. So I'm glad that Disney's taking advantage of it. And it's not every day that we get to talk about a good Disney tech development.
Yeah, that one's a little surprising because you don't get those all the time.
Moving along, this is just a pretty photo I want to share with everybody.
It really is. We got news yesterday that Mickey, Minnie, and a special royal friend that's Princess Ariel, will be joining the National Cherry Blossom Parade in Washington, D.C. this spring, which I did not know we had a National Cherry Blossom Parade in America.
Yeah,
But-
Washington D.C. That area is famous for cherry blossoms. There are a few other places in North America. I don't think it's as nice as Japan or something like that. But yes,
that's where my
there are
mind
cherry
goes to
blossoms in
when I think of
America.
cherry blossoms.
Yeah, sakura, if you will.
That and the Casey Musgrave song.
Okay. But yeah, I love this photo. I think they probably brought those cherry blossoms in for the photo op. I don't think those are naturally there, but I still appreciate it with the Washington.
They don't
Monument.
naturally grow on parade floats.
No, believe it or not.
Yeah.
I also really like. I'm going to point this out again. I really like Mickey's outfit's okay, but Minnie's really
looking
like that.
Looking fabulous with that.
Yeah,
green
this,
belt.
that pink bow, and the green, stylish.
She even looks like she might have got a bit of like a little bit of a Botox there. Her face is kind of pulled up a little.
It is a little bit. I hadn't noticed that part of it, but you are 100% correct. If you're a pass holder at Walt Disney World, we talked a little bit about this last week, but we got confirmation that indeed they were teasing a Princess and the Frog magnet featuring Ray playing a bug like an accordion in the little Instagram thing that they showed. So this magnet will be available at Epcot, not at Magic Kingdom where the attraction is, from January 21st through February 28th. So you can go ahead and pick that up. But in addition to that, also at Epcot and on those same dates, you can purchase a pass holder exclusive beverage, the Frozen Lavender Lemonade. It comes with this, they call it a cube, but it's a flower glow cube that comes with it. They didn't say the price as far as I've seen. But yeah, you can get that at the Regal Eagle Smokehouse. Do you like Regal Eagle?
Yes, one of my favorite counter service restaurants. Whenever there's not a festival going on, or if it's a festival I'm just not that interested in, Regal Eagle is a go-to for me at Epcot.
Cool. Well, we are going to jump ahead now, so as I see we have a special guest. So we're going to go over to this segment. But before we get to our guest, I do want to mention a couple of other things happening around LP. First, Marshall did an article looking at Disney's 2025 release slate and just guessing where how he would rate them on his Letterboxd. So you can see his thoughts, having not actually seen any of these movies, obviously, but just kind of anticipating what he'll think about some of these. I'm looking at some of these scores for the first time, and it's making me laugh. So you could check that out on Laughing Place.
I'm not sure how seriously to take Marshall's opinions on movies after he shared his love of Better Man, the Robbie Williams biopic.
A movie that I only knew was happening because we recently had a Marvel story related. I think it was Marvel related to. I think they hired the director of that or someone.
Okay,
I forget.
Yeah.
But then the other thing that you can check out on Laughing Place right now is Alex has a full recap of the Disney Lorcana North American Championship event that happened over the weekend. Obviously, we shared yesterday that he got to interview the winner and got to see some news from the event. But yeah, you can get a full recap of what that experience was like. But right now, as soon as I find his intro, we're going to bring on our special guest.
Do you feel that there's a lot of upward mobility in the Muppets organization?
Star Wars crochet finger puppets. Wow, real raptor. I had a Scooter action figure when I was very young, like 4 or 5 years old, and my dog chewed it all up.
Hi everyone, it's Mike Celestino with Laughing Place.
It's Mike Celestino with Laughing Place. Hi, Mike.
Hello, good morning, gentlemen. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. You are here to talk about the Skeleton Crew finale that is now available to watch on Disney Plus.
Yeah, the finale came out yesterday evening. I thought it was really, really solid. A lot of fun action, some great comedic moments, a lot of character stuff. They pretty satisfactorily answered some questions that were unanswered so far in the series that I thought was it turned out pretty well. I was pretty happy with the finale as a whole, and I'm actually really glad that it felt like a complete story and it didn't leave anything open-ended in the way that like the Acolyte did, because in this uncertain era of the streaming industry, you never know what the future may hold for this type of series.
Yeah. And in addition to doing your regular recap and review, you also found plenty of Easter eggs in the past couple of episodes. Do you have any? I don't know how many of these are spoilers, but do you have any favorites you wanted to highlight from that?
I will say the one that excited me the most is pretty silly, but we got to see some B-wing starfighters in yesterday's episode. But I shouted out B-wings when they came on screen. There's a fun reference to THX 1138 in the previous episode. It's a lot of little stuff, nothing huge in these last two, but I found some interesting ones.
So now that the series is concluded, you mentioned it had a solid conclusion. Do you have any thoughts on where you'd rank it among recent either way? I don't know if you want to do Star Wars series or just Star Wars content in the past however many years.
Yeah, actually last night after it ended, I put up a ranking of all the live action Disney Plus Star Wars seasons, I should say,
Okay.
because I separated like Mandalorian 1, 2, and 3, but it's on my Threads account, and I put Skeleton Crew at number 4 of 9.
Okay. So
Pretty solid.
What's above it then? I can pull it up. Hold on. Let me. Who's the?
I think I haven't seen the finale of Skeleton Crew yet, but I've been really impressed with this series, and I think it's there's been bits and pieces of the like I enjoyed some episodes of the Acolyte and some couldn't even tell you what show was before that, Ahsoka, but I think this has definitely been the most cohesive show recently.
Yeah, that's what I like about it probably the most, is that it's a really strong story. It's got some great characters, and it's self-contained. It doesn't even necessarily it doesn't overly connect itself to the other current Star Wars stuff going on. There's one character that carried over from The Mandalorian, one of the pirates, but other than that, it's pretty much its own thing, and I really like that about it.
I think that's refreshing for this day and age.
Yeah.
Well, that's exciting. I will admit I am behind on my Skeleton Crew viewing, but I am looking forward to watching the end. And I'm also, as you have as number 3 here, I've seen Mandalorian season 2 and season 1. Andor, I still have not watched. I don't know why. We watched the first 2 episodes and just have not got back to it, even though we enjoyed it. So that is just eternally on my to-do list.
Yeah, and that's coming up in just a few months.
Well, now I have to watch season 1 of Severance too, because we're apparently going to be watching season 2 of that. So I have some other homework, but I will get to Andor at some point.
I guess you got to watch like all 3 seasons of Daredevil too to get caught up with Daredevil Born Again.
No, I'm just
we got to
gonna
go
make
back to
Mac
Daredevil.
give me a Reader's Digest Cliff Notes.
This is not Disney related at all, but since you mentioned Severance, did you see that viral activation they did in, what was it, Grand Central Station in New York?
I haven't.
Oh, I saw a little bit of it.
Yeah. They set up this little cubicle in the middle of the train station and had the actors from the show like just living in there and performing scenes while people were walking around through the train station. It's
what a contract that they had to sign for that to do that one.
It's that Apple money.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, is there anything else you wanted to talk about this morning, Mike?
I'm actually at the moment I'm putting together a list of everything Star Wars coming in 2025. Now that Skeleton Crew is over, thought it was a good time to do that. So all the books, all the comics. There's 2 TV series that we know of. and
Excited for.
for me, yeah.
So,
What am
Yeah, what are you most excited for out of everything coming in 2025, Star Wars wise?
There's a comic book series called Legacy of Vader by Charles Soule, who's one of my favorite current Star Wars writers, and it takes place between episodes 8 and 9, and it's all about Kylo Ren, actually, and tying back to his grandfather, Darth Vader. So I'm very
Spoiler
yeah.
from
and
10 years ago.
As far as the books, you said is this, what's it called? The High Republic that's coming to an end?
Yeah, that'll be ending in the spring or early summer, and I'm really excited for that as well. In fact, Charles Soule has I think he gets the final word on the High Republic. He gets the last big major adults targeted novel, so that's pretty exciting too.
How long has that been going on? Because it feels like it wasn't announced that long ago, but it was probably a long time ago.
So one of the very last in-person events I got to attend before the pandemic in 2020 was the announcement of the High Republic, and that was, I guess, February of 2020, and then it didn't actually start until I think January of 2021. So we are 4 years into it, I think. Yeah.
Okay. That's not as bad as it could have been. Well, thank you, Mike. We'll look out for all of that on Laughing Place, and have a great day.
Thanks, you guys too.
Bye.
And I've had my share of bad reviews. I still remember my first good one, though. Everything else in this production of Our Town was simply terrible. Joey Tribbiani was abysmal.
And speaking of abysmal, not my... I tell you what's not abysmal, my ability to rearrange the setup of the screen in between our very proud of that.
I saw
one.
that. Yeah.
But Maxon did a review of so Marvel Rivals, apparently huge hit. I hear people talking about this all the time, and they keep obviously having updates. So he did a look at the latest update that you can read all about. But I will give you the his subhead and the last paragraph. His subhead is, "Are you ready to take on the Marvel heroes and villains all on your own?" I don't think I am, but let's see. After getting my chance to check out Doom Match, I'm actually really enthralled with the new game mode. While it isn't as structured or strategic as the normal quick match, Doom Match gives players the chance to test their skills without worrying about dragging their team down. I think it's great for players looking to log in for a shorter amount of time, with Doom matches lasting noticeably less time to complete, or taking less time to complete. If I'm playing with friends, quick match is probably where I'll head first, but I absolutely will be playing Doom match during this season of Marvel Rivals. I highly recommend you check out the new Doom match mode on Marvel Rivals. So there you go. If you're already playing Marvel Rivals or you want to join that trend, you can get on that. And then our other review comes from you, Luke.
I know. How convenient that it just happens to be mine. But yeah, there's a new National Geographic special coming out this Friday, airing on National Geographic, the TV channel. And it's all about the creation of Lookout Key at Lighthouse Point, which is Disney.
Bless you.
Was, I was trying to get to the mute button in time, but
That's okay.
Came out straight away. But yeah, it's all about the creation and the construction of Lookout Key at Lighthouse Point. And they put special emphasis on the ways that they helped preserve the environment, the natural
Like the
environment
half-mile
of
walk?
the Bahamas. Yeah, and that half-mile walk, is one of the things that is brought up in the special. And we knew why they made it, and it was to not
we
disturb.
did.
Yes,
But regular guests that go there don't. So maybe they'll
Not
need
to
to like make a
yeah.
PSA video and put some TVs along the walk.
I mean, I think maybe having some signage along the walkway, be like, "Did you know there's so much coral reef underneath? This is why you're walking so much." But yeah, it's a really good special. It goes pretty in depth into mainly the environmental and cultural aspects of the island. So how they built it so far out, as to not disturb the coral reef. Also, like trying to regrow some of the coral reef underneath, and then of course how the island of Eleuthera itself and the artisans from the island helped create and inspire a lot of what you see in Lookout Key. So it's really nice. Definitely worth checking out. I haven't been to Lookout Key myself yet. My parents were recently there on a cruise, so they were. I've heard some stuff about it, and ended up with a T-shirt from the island.
My
But
parents got to go to Lookout Key at Lighthouse Point, and all I got was this stupid T-shirt.
yeah, that's pretty much it. But it's very enjoyable, and if you're a fan or at least curious, I think if you watch the special, you might get a little bit more appreciation for some of the choices that they made. So that's on National Geographic this Friday at 10/9 Central, and it will be on Disney Plus and Hulu in about a month on February 17th.
Yeah, I don't know why they have such a delay with those. They should just
Yeah,
put it the next day.
it was the same with the Epcot special last year.
Yeah,
I think that was last year.
I think so. Cool. Well, thank you, Luke. And now we have at Epcot. Tell us about these new costumes for the Voices of Liberty. Our an LP favorite.
Yeah, I guess I have to say that I'm not really a huge fan of the Voices of Liberty.
Whoa,
This
hot
could
take.
be. I recognize the vocal talent, but usually, it's a little bit too on the patriotic side for me. But maybe that's because I'm English. Who knows?
Like that.
But yeah, usually I will brush past them just to get to upstairs to go see the American Adventure, because that's not too patriotic for me. I love the American Adventure. Complete digression aside, there's some new costumes coming. They've been kind of like switching back and forth between like old timey Americana vibes, and then like I know for Festival of the Arts they wear like stewardess outfits. Almost looks like, but this supposedly is kind of similar to the outfits that they wore originally when the Voices of Liberty first debuted back in 1982. So they're getting some fun new costumes, and I actually really like the look of them.
Yeah, it's interesting. They kind of like this one over here looks almost like fancy, like Bert almost.
Yeah.
Whereas the other ones, well, maybe these two less so, and maybe
They
this
do
one's a
look. They
little
look very
silly.
70s. They look like a 70s
Yes.
idea of the 1770s.
Like, oh, this a 70s idea of the 70s. Okay, wow.
Yes.
That was quite a mouthful.
A 1970s idea of the 1770s.
Yeah. Well, in some other completely different news, we found out from the trades that Farah Tahir, that's what I'm going with, is apparently been cast in Vision Quest, which is a upcoming series starring Paul Bettany and the Vision taking place after WandaVision. And if he looks familiar, and if this image in particular looks familiar, it's because he's actually in Iron Man. He plays Raza in that, which is one of the part of the group that captures Tony Stark near the beginning of the movie. So that'll be interesting to see what the tie-in there is. And if you remember, not only is Paul Bettany playing Vision in this, but we got news that James Spader will be returning as Ultron for the project. So shaping up to be an interesting film. Or
If this was
show,
not
rather.
called out to me, I would not have known this at all.
Yeah, I
It's
imagine.
been many years since I've seen the original Iron Man, and I think I've probably only seen it once.
It's a good movie. I haven't seen it
Yeah.
too recently, but
I mean, it had to be good. It kicked off what is now a juggernaut.
yeah. Well, with that, it's time to quiz Luke. Well, you do have a leg up because I know for a fact that you are going to get this first one. On this day in 1975, an attraction opened at Walt Disney World's Magic Kingdom.
Could it be the People Mover?
It could not. It could be Space
Yeah.
Mountain. Yeah. But
Although that was the right year for the People Mover.
on this day in 1975, another attraction made its Walt Disney World debut.
So I believe Carousel of Progress.
That is the Carousel of Progress. Good job. You were not fooled
Thank you.
by my clever wording of saying Disney its debut as if it had.
I knew all three opened that year, but not sure when the People Mover opened.
On this day in 1986, something opened at Epcot.
The Living Seas?
That was the Living Seas, which we did not get to the news today. We'll get to it tomorrow, but some news coming out of that pavilion this morning.
Happy birthday, the Seas.
Yeah. Okay, now we get to our first limerick. On this day, actually, before we get to that, I also want to mention that apparently, according to This Day in Disney History, which is what we use for all of these segments, so thank you to them, on this day in 1990 is when Michael Eisner announced an expansion of Walt Disney World, including a fourth theme park. Took 8 years to get it, but
at least it happened, which when it comes to announcements
the other
in the
thing he announced was a
1990s,
Soviet Union pavilion. So yeah, not everything.
which interesting time to announce a Soviet Union pavilion, because it was,
Yeah.
maybe a year later and it wasn't called that anymore.
Well, on this day in 1996, an actor was born.
Okay.
Here is a poem about them. A teen with a split, fun-filled role in Disney, she played with heart and soul. As a villain and a queen, she's graceful yet mean, and her talent was always on full stroll.
Okay. My first guess, based off of being 1996, someone from Descendants.
That is correct.
Okay.
That
So
was your choices, and you know it's a she.
I've got two names that I'm thinking
Flip
of.
a coin.
Sophia Carson,
Flip a coin again.
Dove Cameron.
It is Dove Cameron.
All right. I went the wrong way.
No, you got all the clues in there. So yeah, good job. I'm gonna count that. You're close enough. And then
right.
finally, on this day in 2021, a show debuted. In a world both serene and askew, a couple's life seems perfect, though new. With glitches and twists and reality missed, they'll unravel what's false and what's true.
So I would have got it based off of the limerick, but I also saw this on the Twitters earlier today. It is WandaVision.
Yes, and I will say, Chatty did a pretty decent job with that limerick. I liked it. Oh, there we go. WandaVision, probably still my favorite MCU series that's come out so far.
Yeah, I think I'd agree with that.
I mean, it's close. There's been some other ones. Like, I really like Loki. And, but yeah, so WandaVision holds a special place in my heart. Not because it was first, per se, although that adds to some of the...
I think that definitely adds to it, yeah.
But I love sitcoms, so I got all of the references that they were making in those first few episodes, and that was cool.
As Fred says, the show that started it all.
That's true, sort of. But yeah, so with that, that's let me refresh the Parks blog since we are past 10 o'clock. Luke, do you have anything to add in the meantime?
No, I've got a couple of reviews up within the last couple of days, so you can check out the review of The Magic of Disney Lookout Key at Lighthouse Point. And then I don't know if you spoke about it yesterday, but there's a show out on Freeform today called Scam Goddess, which is...
We looked at your review yesterday.
Okay. Very enjoyable show. I had a lot of fun with it, so check that out. It's on Freeform tonight, and then it'll be on Hulu tomorrow.
Very nice. Well, thank you everyone for watching. Happy birthday to Space Mountain. That's what the Parks blog posted, is they have some other people. They do mention that it's like a first coaster. And I will say, I don't know if it's technically my first coaster because you have those like little kiddie ones, but I do distinctly remember, I think it was actually the Disneyland version, but being very proud of myself when I went on it and got a t-shirt and wore it to school proudly.
I think I braved Big Thunder before I braved Space. I don't remember ever having like too much being too scared of Big Thunder, but Space I was a little scared of when I was younger, so I think that one took me a little longer.
Okay. Yeah, I think I did that and Splash in the same trip.
Mm.
Don't know about Big Thunder. But yeah, anyway, we will be back tomorrow. Oh, I'll be back tomorrow alongside somebody, hopefully. And
It's just Kyle riffing by himself tomorrow, y'all. So
if you thought this was a disaster, just wait. But all right, cool. Well, thank you again for helping me, Luke.
absolutely.
And
Thanks
I
for
will
having me.
see you all tomorrow. Bye.